Another episode of the world's fastest growing podcast. I'm back in Atlanta, Georgia. I got a special guest today on the show, serial entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
He came in here looking really rich. You know what I'm saying? My guy James, I don't want to pronounce the name wrong.
Fontano.
Fontano, for all y'all Fontanos out there, what's up?
What's up?
My brother, how you feeling today?
Amazing, man. Glad to be here. Thanks for having us.
Man, anytime. Let's go to the top real fast before we get into everything. Chicago,
that is where we're from. Yeah.
what's the side you from?
West side, of
West
course.
side?
The best side.
All my South Side people out there gonna be calling me like. Let me tell you a story real fast about the West Side. My dad's a bishop, right?
Mm-hmm.
Church of God in Christ. So one of his close friends, it's a highway in Chicago named after him, Henry H. Ford.
Mm-hmm.
So he used to be the head bishop of the whole Church of God in Christ,
Mm-hmm.
Henry Ford. You ever heard of the street?
Yeah, of course.
So
yeah.
my father's the head bishop of New York. So Henry Ford, well, like not Henry Ford, Lewis Ford, like Bishop Ford is like my father's personal friend, right? So I come to Chicago one year, and I had to go to church on Easter. So my father told me to go to the West Side.
Yeah.
This is where my father friend was church. This is where my father church friend was at on the West Side. It was on Easter. Yo, I ain't want to even get out the car. And when I got the car, I pull up to church. It's mad dudes outside of the church, right?
Oh yeah, church is a big event when you're out west.
Yeah. What I'm trying to say is like the Uber driver, because I got a whole bunch of friends from the South Side, and they always talk best about the West Side. Isaiah Thomas from the West Side.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And the reason I'm bringing up that point, before we go anywhere, what is the difference between the West Side and the South Side?
Man, the swags are two completely different things. For one, you can have, when you have a conversation with somebody, you could tell if they're from out west or out south off top.
Okay.
Now it's even so much you could even tell if they're from over east. So now they even break it down even more so west side, south side, east side, because they're all just three completely different swags. Like my partner Freddie Wayne, if he was sitting at this table, you would just be able to tell immediately he's from out west. He's like the epitome of it.
Okay.
Yeah. Same thing with Stunt. Stunt's a West Side person too. Stunt grew up out west. That's still where his roots are, and he tries to keep everything out west. He made the out west anthem, Fifi on the Block, right? That was the biggest thing. Out west is what kicked off the Fifi movement, and they just started bringing the parties to the streets. So it kicked off Fifi on the Block. Fifi went nuts, and now boom, that's just like an out west thing. So when they break them down into different styles of music, swags, and so on and so forth. And if you're from there, it's really easy to tell. It's really easy.
And overall, Chicago got the best pizza in the world. And
God,
I'm from New York.
Oh God,
yeah. But Chicago definitely got the best pizza. Do you think Chicago gets a bad rep for like the way they innovated like this drill music in the culture?
Oh God, yeah, like, for sure. That's 100% exactly what it is.
How you feel about that? I ain't want to
not
put you on the spot, but since you from Chicago, we got you here.
Yeah, no, you got to do it. I don't have anything against drill music. I don't like the image that it portrays. Right? I don't see why we have to stoop down to a point where now we have music that came from drill. Like drill started crash out music. They have crash out music now too. So now what we've done is we've taught younger generations that acting like an asshole. So I don't know.
No, you can talk.
Yeah, my bad.
Say we're a podcast.
Yeah, but acting like an asshole is okay to do because you could profit off of it. But I use this example with a few of our younger artists, and my sister, she'll let you know. If you crash out and do this stupid shit that all this music is teaching you to do, the best thing I'm gonna be able to give you is a nice commissary box. You know what I'm saying?
You don't want that.
I mean, that's what I'm gonna do. You could be doing millions of streams daily, right? I'm gonna make sure that I know the limits. I did 10 years total myself, right? You only get $300 shops.
That's a fact.
That's it.
Yeah. It's 300.
300 in state
I was in the feds. I think.
Oh man, you guys get treated better. Knock it off.
Yo, let me say this. I probably had the best federal prison experience ever. Like
probably.
Being in the feds was like I was at a camp. When I tell you, it was like, oh my God.
I hear some of them camps have tennis courts.
We had, oh my God. It was like, yo, I'm sorry, state people, man, but like,
yeah, right.
The feds was like, it's like you might want to go back. Like, no. I don't mean it like that. Let me knock on one.
Punishment enjoyable.
It was like so like not like state is different.
Very extremely.
People don't understand the difference between state and federal. It's so different. Even how you mentioned the commissary thing is you get more in federal. You know what I'm saying? But
You get treated better. You know, you get treated better. But
State is like
the drill music gives you this perception now. What it's growing into more and more. Like Chief Keef and them did their thing, right?
like
you get what I'm saying? Like Little Durk, he did his thing. Now, yeah, minus whatever he's got going on now, right? But Little Durk did his thing. Yeah, drill music was there. But now what you're seeing is it's not about making music anymore. It's about really living that lifestyle now. And what you're seeing is a ton of the youth. Not just and no color either. A ton of the youth. You see it everywhere.
It don't matter if you're black or white.
They're all just influenced by making dumb decisions, which is like one thing. So stunt does not. He doesn't like that at all.
And this is your artist.
Yeah.
Let the world know his name.
Stunt Taylor, everybody. Stunt Taylor, Flea, aka Flea Amigo, right?
Is he from Chicago?
Out West legend.
Okay.
Out West legend.
We'll get to
yeah.
that.
Well, that you know, he tries to also do the same thing with people that were around too. Let's try to promote getting music back to that light that it had, back in the day, right?
Yeah, they need it nowadays. It's
I mean, and you grew up in an even better era of music.
I'm 46, so I'm from like the Tribe Called Quest, Wu-Tang.
I mean, that's when music was.
That's when it was
art
like
for real.
That's when you remember, like you could read the back of the tape. And you remember where you was at when certain songs came out.
100%.
Like you was like, man, I was driving down the highway in Brooklyn, and Biggie dropped this. I was with Gip last night from Goody Mob, and so he was with me all last night. And when the artist was coming on stage, he was like, man, these youngins are nice. He's like, but they just don't. They're missing something. And he with me. He's like Jojo. He's like he got it, but it's just. And he's like, this is probably going to sell.
You know what they're missing is passion, Jojo. There's no passion anymore. There's nobody that really, like, they all think that it's just dropping a record, right? Getting millions of streams, and yeah, you got the chain. You might have the car because the management company hooked you up with the lease, right? Or the label, right? But there's no passion behind it anymore. Like when especially a Tribe Called Quest, right? I mean, come on.
The low-end theory.
You cannot compare the way musicians in general, right? Not hip hop, any Bon Jovi,
any genre,
Rolling Stone, right? Rolling Stone, you don't see that no more, and that's what I believe. If you're talking about what Chicago and drill music has contributed, I think that's the problem. We took it to a whole nother level. This was something that was supposed to be a new form of music and a good style of genre, but now people are actually acting this out and being able to profit off of it. Like that, you can go on Instagram Live and go on a chase. Fontano 1700 does it all the time. And look he's checking on the streams. People want him on their podcast. They're probably paying him big dollars to go and do that. So why would he stop?
That's a fact. You had mentioned you had a decade coming out. What advice would you give to any youngins or anyone that's coming out and they're trying to figure it out, man?
Man, there is so much more that us as convicts and criminal-minded people, right? Because you'll understand this. We think a certain way, right? There's so much more that we can bring to the table besides committing crimes, though, right?
That's true.
There's just that's where 312 All came from. 312 All is me, my sister, my partner Joey, and my best friend Freddie, who I did my time with in Statesville. Me and him got off the bus together. Went to Statesville together, went to Sheridan Correctional together, left Sheridan Correctional together, went to work release together, and I went home 3-4 months before him, and then we came home together, and that's been that. But we did our time together. And me and him came home, and we said that eventually, right now I came home in 2019. We said eventually we were going to get something going like this.
You like me, you just came home.
Yeah, I've only been home 6 years.
Like I just got off a federal paper. This is my first year off of any type of federal paper.
Man,
it's my first year, so that's why I'm able to travel. And I started the podcast in the halfway house.
I remember you telling me. Who was your first interview with? You were on. You were
it was Slim Thug.
Slim Thug.
I had an ankle monitor on.
With the ankle monitor.
Yeah, with the ankle monitor.
See, so you came out and did the same thing, right?
I was on a mission though.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I was like, man.
You come out and you're like, yo, listen. Usually,
I'm still on a mission though.
Usually, you're laser focused on doing something stupid, right? So you get out, because I did it too. I went 3 times. So I came out, did a year, came out. Then I did. Then my last stretch was a nickel. So I came out and I was like, wait a minute. So I could come out and I could definitely jump back down and I'll check a bag because I did, or I can come out and apply this to that and figure out how to make that work. So the same way that I would network to meet people to pick up my shit, now I'm networking to tell people this is what I got going on.
I was telling this girl I was with the other night, I was like, it was probably like the first time like I I could kind of like sleep. I know I ain't got nothing crazy going on.
Man, I told my girl that
Like,
literally the other night.
You know when you be doing stuff like,
I just
listen, I'm not promoting crime. Crime
No.
does not pay. Let's just say
no,
this.
it doesn't. Don't
But-
do it. Yeah,
But I remember like it'd be daylight, cause you know you making money, you doing stuff. It's stressful though.
it's stressful as fuck. But
You be
now
like,
I can
damn.
go to sleep
Yeah.
at night. Right now, listen. Don't get me wrong. The music business is very stressful. It's extremely
It is.
stressful. But at night, I'm going to bed proud of the stress now.
Yeah.
The stress isn't a bother. I don't have warrants.
Yeah.
I don't have marshals coming into my room looking in closets like, yo,
That
where's
joint
this
is real.
bag, right? I don't have that shit no more. And what I wanted to do with 312 All was bring that light back to entertainment in general, right? Because mind you, we got a ton of different stuff going on. My sister's taking over partnership with a friend of ours out of Memphis at WURE radio
That's
station,
dope.
internet radio, and she's killing it, right? And she's also trying to bring that light back to the stuff. We don't want to promote the bad side of the industry, but we'd like to show that there is still that good side.
In the music,
right?
about the music.
In the entertainment industry
Yeah,
in general,
I-
even for what you got
I ain't
going
gonna lie, I
on.
don't like it. I don't like it. Like just it just you know. I think one thing I learned about being in the feds, you learn about having integrity
You got to
and like
in prison.
if you
in general.
if you tell somebody I'm gonna be there at 12 o'clock, you better be there at 12 o'clock.
Your
So,
word is
your
all
word
you
is all you
literally
got.
have in that
Yeah,
place.
your word's all you got.
Yeah.
So like I'm the type of person like, you know how the industry is. People be BSing.
all the time.
So I'm not used to. I'm like, yo, if they say we gonna do this, they say we gonna do that. That's what it's gonna be. So I just
it's just
like,
learning how to navigate it.
You know what I'm
though.
saying?
It's just learning how to navigate
It's
those
crazy.
situations that I'm not gonna lie to you. Stunt and Freddie and Little Chris have been such a help with that because these are three people that have been through it. Stunts had bad situations in the music business. Trust and believe. He's got
Yeah,
a
it's
couple.
crazy.
Of them. And
It'll make you go
everybody-
there though. It'll make you go back to jail.
Oh God, yeah.
You be like, yo, I gotta go. Yeah, I don't like when money's involved,
Of course, especially them big dollars.
especially the big money.
Yep.
You be like,
Yeah, but see, you're gonna also deal with that things in the podcast
I'm dealing with it
industry
now.
right now. Exactly.
I'll be like, yo, that don't make sense.
But see, that's why we gotta change it though. That's why guys like us and other guys like there's so many more people like us out there that are just looking for a chance to somebody to notice that they can bring something to the
That's a
table,
fact.
even if they don't got the big dollars,
That's
right?
a fact.
Because right now it's all about the big dollars. So if you got big dollars, I can get to the right table. But that it's obviously not helping the entertainment industry though. That shit ain't working, you guys. Look it. It ain't working. You're losing artists left and right. You're losing personalities left and right. Right? So why don't we try to change it again and bring back what? That integrity. That
That's
was
a
that
fact.
word, right?
Yeah,
so
man.
let's get the integrity
Ain't
at
nothing
the
wrong
table.
with keeping it real, man.
Yeah, 100%.
Let's talk about the label.
Okay.
So it's 312.
312 All is the company that started everything, right?
Okay.
We started this as three people, me, my sister, and our partner Joey. We didn't have any knowledge of the
Hold on, I don't mean to cut you off. How is it working with your sister?
my sister.
I gotta ask people this because I work with my sister sometimes, and she be on my ass. She's a
So-
lawyer. My sister's a lawyer.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I be sending her contracts and stuff, and it's like, oh my god, she be cursing me out.
Yep.
You're a dummy. What is wrong with you?
It's
but carry on.
It's a crazy dynamic, and in all honesty, my sister's probably one of my best headaches.
See,
right?
I knew it.
So the fact that I get to watch her grow into really what she's doing, because let's be real here, she got in contact with you about this
Yeah.
situation. You and her
Yeah.
started rotating, right? For her to jump that quick and do the stuff that I've seen and witnessed her do
It's a blessing.
makes me proud.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Because she is my older sister, mind you. That's my older sister.
Okay.
And we started this together,
Okay.
and I've watched her flourish. So, like I said, definitely one of the best headaches I got. But trust and believe, like you said, she's a headache.
Did she used to bully you when you was younger?
Oh my God, yeah. My sister
You
used
used
to
to bully
be.
him?
So when I
All
was
the time.
younger, I was not this, confident guy that you see in front of you.
Word?
When I was younger, my sister used to have to back me up. My sister got her arm broke once because some kid was messing with me on the bus.
Mm-hmm.
So my sister got off of her bus and went to his house and tried to fight him.
Oh, she ain't having that.
No, she wasn't going. She wasn't going. So
That's respect, though.
we've got a great relationship, our entire team, and we don't look at this as business partners.
Facts.
We're all family, and I promised each one of these individuals that I would create a situation for them to flourish.
That's-
So my boy Freddie, him and his partner, little Chris from Chicago, they started Motivate the Trenches. My sister is doing her amazing work with the radio station.
Okay.
And then you have my buddy Joey, who we've known collectively, our families have known each other for about 80 years. That's how far we go back, the Phalins and the Fontanos. So you have him on the production side really navigating that. And you're just seeing everything flourish beautifully. You get to watch all these people that you care about grow in front of you, right? And you get to help them do what they're doing. And you get to bring your resources. Like I really networked really hard to get in touch with Stunt Taylor, right? So it took me a few years to catch his eye, and then when I did, right, it became a really good friendship. So now I get to use what Stunt brings to the table to help my sister and Freddie and Joey. And you get to keep doing these things for all the people you care about. So yeah, they're all headaches, every one of them, top to bottom. But I love dealing with the people I'm with every day. I love my sister to death, and I'm proud of each and every one of them. We are 3 people that didn't have anything to do with entertainment. I come from the sandwich business. Our family owns delis, dude.
Yo, you know what's crazy? I'm from New York, right? I grew up on nothing but sandwiches.
Oh, me too. So you know what I'm saying?
That's like, and while I live in Texas, they don't make them like that.
Yeah,
I love sandwiches. So my mother come in town, my favorite sandwich is Reuben.
Ooh.
Sauerkraut, pastrami. So my mother, every time she come in town, she make me Reuben sandwiches. Like
man, see,
that's
I
love sandwiches. I love sandwiches, man.
Sandwiches are in our blood. My grandfather started the sandwich business. I think we're at 100 years now or something. My grandfather's gone now, but we've been in the sandwich business most of our life. It was a huge pivot, but when you're moving like we're moving, and you're meeting the people exactly like meeting you, you know, it's hard to not want to do this, and it makes it so much fun.
Let's talk about the roster on the label.
Yeah.
Let's name them. Let's.
So we got. I mean, a lot of people will know Stunt Taylor for his song "Fifi on the Block," right?
Okay.
It was a major hit. Stunt had to take a little bit of a break from music because of some personal stuff. The biggest thing with Stunt is his family, right? And he has a daughter who is autistic, and his son Carter. So there became a point where he was like, I really got to buckle down with family right now, and I got to get this situated. So you've seen a little bit of a, let's call it a hiatus from music. But he was always recording. He never stopped. So you have Stunt Taylor, who jumped back in and believed in what 312 All, me, myself, Freddie, Tressa, everybody has going on. So it started with, you know, getting in tune with guys like him. You have Mr. Big Ol out of Tennessee, from Louisiana, out of Tennessee now though.
So he's on a label too.
That's just a really really good friend of mine. I mean, he won't. I value friendship more than business above anything. So before I put a piece of paper in front of somebody, right? Okay. I have to weigh it out and see.
Yeah, you don't want to mess up the friendship.
But to say that I would never include him with Motivate the Trenches or 312 All would be crazy, because wherever I go, he goes. Wherever he goes, I go. Okay. But so he's always in the roster, and then you have Tommy Bands, who is a young kid out of the South Side of Chicago, right? Who really brings that like pop hip hop vibe to the scene, dude. He's got like that crazy Kid Leroy alternative shit going on, you know, and he's got some super good flow. We have a couple songs had Rush out by him, right? He's really into the recording end right now, so he's going crazy in the studio. He was in the studio last night, but he's got a big year coming up. 2025 is going to be a big year for Tommy. Right now, Stunt just dropped Stuntin' on Turbo 2, right, which is a play off of his first album, Stuntin' on Turbo. And he really brought Chicago dance music back, and he even went and tapped into that
Chicago
Jersey juke stuff. He brought it back. I mean, you got that Jersey juke shit mixed into his album with APL, and then he goes right back to that street shit that he brings with Big Difference. It's a huge mix of genres on one album, and that's his start now. So now we're starting from there, and you can expect to see so much more coming from him. I mean, there's big things coming behind this album right now. Big things. He's making major moves. He's got a huge better attitude. His attitude is bigger now. It's more about the music. It's not about the fame or nothing like that. He just wants to create good music and provide for his family now.
So let me ask you this: if somebody was to say, is it pronounced Motivate the Trenches?
Motivate the Trenches, yes.
If somebody to say, like, what do they have to offer? What would you say to somebody in the music business?
we believe in our artists. So if we're in touch with you, we're not just blowing smoke up your ass. That's why we actually turn down and don't work with quite a few people. We have artists that reach out to us every day.
You know, we want to deal with it.
It's not that. I gotta see something in you, and I gotta see if I believe in you as much as I do, you have to match that energy or better. And if I don't get that, I'm sorry. I don't think you're built for this team.
So what make you believe it's on? If it's somebody like me, I'm coming up, I'm straight off the airplane. And
Straight off the airplane.
Straight off the
right?
airplane, and I'm like, yo, I'm dope. I send you my music. What would make you believe in me? What would?
I gotta see consistency first. You can have a dope record, right? How often can you do that, and how much are you willing to put into making more of those dope records? What are you willing to sacrifice? These are things that I'm looking
So
for.
time, basically.
Well, yeah,
That's
that's
obviously
what
takes
it is,
time
though.
if it's consistency.
Well, that's what it is when
Okay.
you're an artist these days. It's all about consistency. There's no such thing as a hit record anymore, right? You need to keep doing that. You cannot just drop one good song. That's not going to cut it, right? So if I'm just looking for people to make a couple bucks off of really quick, we could do that all day, right? And we could be passing out paperwork everywhere, right? But what I'm looking for is longevity of it, right? Can I see myself working with you for the next 10, 15 years, right? Can we be side by side, right? Regardless. Are you gonna match my energy?
So you're looking long term.
Oh God, yeah. I don't want nothing where it seems like a quick come up. That's not what this is about. This is about building a team here and a team of people that can continue this to going on, or how are we gonna be the people that change the game and bring it back? If we're not here for the longevity, how can we make our mark so that we can change the game? If you're not here for the longevity, right? Say Word Podcast is meant so that this changes the game.
Yeah,
the
we
fastest growing
definitely-
podcast,
yeah,
right?
Talk that talk.
Yeah. So if you aren't in it for the longevity, right? You don't just want anybody on here. If that was the case, you'd be sliding deals out to everybody on Instagram saying, hey,
I'm very particular about who I invite in my house.
because this is meant to build something.
Yeah, I take this serious.
You're setting a standard.
I had to learn that though.
Yeah, you do. Because the money's there.
Yeah.
The money's
Yeah,
there.
the money-
You could probably get people to pay
Yeah.
really good money.
Yeah, I just don't even want to deal with it.
No.
I don't even want to deal with it.
Because if that's what it was about, what are you really doing for the game then? What are you really doing?
You're just like everybody else.
And now we're starting to think back to our old ways like we were just talking about. So now we're back in them prison ways where we're thinking
That's a
about
fact.
that. So if I'm going to sit here and present this situation to everybody that way, I got to make sure I act it. And if I'm acting it as your manager or the CEO of your management company, you got to act that part too, man. We got to do that. We got to be on that same level at all times.
Man, that's a fact. That's what it is, man. We in Atlanta. My guy James in the building. I'm gonna put you on the spot before I get you up out of here, though.
Keep going. I embrace that.
I'm asking you a couple questions.
Mhm.
Yeah, give me your honest answer.
Of course.
First question is Kanye or Dr. Dre?
Oh my God, Dr. Dre. That's a no-brainer.
Chicago. I didn't know. Like
Listen, I'm nothing against Kanye, but
Kanye's legendary, though.
he's legendary. I'm not gonna take that away from him. But
You said that so fast too.
when you can look at a guy like Dr. Dre and not only what he has accomplished as an artist, but as an entrepreneur, has accomplished as a family man, the things that he's been through and overcome, right? That's who I gotta go with in that sense, yeah.
Okay. Snoop or 50?
Snoop. And I might be a little biased. I'm kind of a weed smoker, so
Snoop is one of my favorites.
yeah.
Michael Jordan or LeBron?
Michael Jordan. LeBron's a bum. I'm
Serious?
sorry. I hate him.
Man, like 50 years old, still dominating.
Listen, anybody that the attitude is what I believe brings more to basketball too. He's got one of the worst attitudes in basketball.
He buys, right?
No,
No.
I can tell you a few people I believe are better than MJ. I think that if you're talking about who built a better legacy, career, you might have MJ statistically, right?
Uh-huh.
But when you talk MJ, it's just that's the GOAT. And when you've made it a
Michael
point,
is the GOAT, though.
Mike is the GOAT?
I think Mike is the GOAT.
Oh, of course. See, but when you've made it
I'm old. I always.
when you've made it a
killed the
point
Knicks.
to try to act like Mike isn't the GOAT, which is what LeBron has since been starting to do, how are you even going to try to do that? That's just disrespectful at that point.
I mean, he got a case. I mean, he's
He's got a statistical case.
I mean, he got an overall case. He's doing a lot.
But if they took stats on how often somebody complains and bitches on the court, he definitely have that statistic too.
Facts.
Shout out to LeBron.
Shout out to LeBron. Great
Shout out to
career.
LeBron.
And actually, you know what? I'm actually kind of hoping that Bronny learns from that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I would hope to see that Bronny can create a situation where at least, we won't say majority, but I can guarantee you right now, everybody's 50-50 on LeBron and MJ, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see Bronny change that narrative, though, and make it so that Bronny is known as one of the GOATs, right?
Yeah.
You got to learn. You
Yeah.
have to learn from these situations, and I hope that Bronny does because he's a super talented individual.
That's a fact. And last question is the Cubs or the White Sox?
The Cubs, but Yankees
Okay.
fan.
You're a Yankees fan?
Yes.
Usually I got a Mets hat on.
Mets?
I'm a Mets fan.
Mets?
I'm close to the Queens.
Yeah, that makes sense then. But I'm a Yankees fan.
That's
Yankees fan.
that's what it is. My guy, let everybody know where they can follow everything.
So everybody can tap in at the 312 at on IG. We got the Chooch DA_CHOOCH1 is my personal on IG. And just stay tuned. You know, obviously Stunt Taylor on all platforms. My boy Tommy Band. Shout out to you guys, dude. And also I want to thank all of my team on air, including my sister for locking this in. My wonderful sister over there, which eventually I'd like to get her on here with JoJo and let her tell you a little bit about herself too, because she brings a huge part to this.
I'll be back in Atlanta next month.
And we'll be here. We actually
do another showcase.
But you know, Tommy, everybody, huge shout out to my team. I appreciate everybody top to bottom. Make sure everybody go check out Head Rush on all platforms, Stunting on Turbo too, and watch out for Smokey Dollars. Right, real quick, I want to touch base on this. I got in tune with this guy through Freddie the other day. Right, this guy's entire family, Smokey's entire family, records, produces, and everything together.
Wow.
And we just now started rotating with each other. So I really want everybody to stay tuned. We got something big coming up for everybody. We're looking at something big with the team. So just stay tuned and be ready. We're coming up.
Man, that's what it is. Episode be out soon. Say World Podcast. We in Atlanta. We up out of here. It's perfect.